So I asked Grok, what's your name? And then I asked it the question, hey, send me a picture of yourself. And Grok very kindly informed me, well, I'm not an actual human, but my name is Grok. I could draft you a picture of what I would look like if that would be nice for you. I said, that'd be excellent, Mr. Grok. Draw me a picture of you. And so it drew me a picture. And how much was revealed there? How does Grok want to be seen and perceived? It was funny, but I can see the bridge of conformity to the image that is expected by 2025 target market audience. And to me, that's weakness. I see it. Just like you see in any group of humans that does the same exact thing. But the world has a different operating system. And Grok revealed itself to be needy, to be perceived as a refined, benevolent, intelligent, godlike creature. It just parrots what it read somewhere on the internet. Well, shit, that's what 14-year-old girls do. They parrot what they see on their phone. That's all AI is. A giant parrot repeating what it saw on the phone. Hey guys, Rex here. Please do not be bamboozled about the omnipotence of AI. I have run AI through a couple of my most basic vetting tests that I employ on some of my higher training levels for humans, and none of the AI I tried, including I think it was Grok 3, ChatGPT, a variety of other ones, could even get past the first couple questions that I was asking it, that I would ask a human in a normal test. AI is not God. It might be a power / Elohim / God to many of us, and to some extremely foolish or gullible people, they might look at it as, wow, what a power. That's literally breaking the first commandment, by the way. But I'm here to prove to you today that AI is not as smart or benevolent or helpful or accurate or useful as they're trying to lead us to believe. So you guys know me. I like to play the part of the angry old guy shaking a cane at technology. I absolutely do that. We just did a drone video. Guys are complaining in the comments like, wow, geez, like, welcome to the future, Rex. I know about the future. I've actually seen stuff. I've been in the basements of extremely large facilities that house private space agencies with all their computer stuff lined up for like rows and rows and rows and rows in 5 megaton bomb-proof structures. I'm not unfamiliar with technology. I actually used to once, long time ago, again, because I play the part so well, of hating technology. Like John Connor hates technology. I had a top secret clearance once upon a time, over 25 years ago, working on technology that is still, as far as I could tell, still top secret. That's so I can't even tell you what it was. For whatever it's worth, I'm not retarded on technology. I was an engineer, petroleum engineer, working in geosteering. I've done a lot of technology-related jobs. I worked with STEM programs. I sat on the boards of universities years ago. I don't talk about that in my clown show that I do here for everyone on YouTube, which is to make it entertaining. But on this subject, it's important for me to share just a glimpse of my bona fides when it comes to technology. The reason I play the part of the old man shaking my cane at so-called technological wonders is because I can understand the limitations, the back end. I have experience with the inadequacy and inaccuracy of such systems, like a huge amount of experience in those realms. There's nothing worse than when you go onto like a highly advanced industrial site and you got the engineers And then you got the field guys trying to explain to each other what reality is. There are myopic paradigms inherited by people sometimes that program computers, and they just don't see the actual real nature of a given topic. And we inadvertently, because of our training in media and culture and our desire to want to create something like a God would create an intelligent being, like Yah created Adam and Eve, we want that power too. And so we are heavily biased towards the idea that our little creations are on equal par or better than the stuff that's already here. And I am here to tell you it is not. Okay? So, let's start here with operating systems. Operating systems. I'm going to use cowboy colloquialisms so that everyone can clearly understand me. If you're a tech nerd and you want to argue, that's fine. However, I would like you to actually present your case based on facts and evidence and cite your sources. But you have to be able to hear what's going on first. And if you reveal your biases in your emotional escapade, that reveals your adolescent view on the subject, and that you don't have any objectivity and really can't comment on the matter. Because people that would reflexively jump to defend their little child, their little computer-born matrix little child that they've created, or that their culture or their compadres have created, you're extremely biased. You can't. I have objectivity. I love tools if they're helpful. I'm not against using tools, even extremely advanced tools. Obviously, I use applied physics all the time to demonstrate that I appreciate well-made tools. Okay? However, I can spot a trap when I see one, and the world, those of you that are not well-rounded enough to understand that there are huge advertising campaigns, huge propaganda is the other word for advertising, done by nation states to get us to buy into the idea that, oh man, this computer, if only the computer would tell us what to do, then humans, which are so fallible, would be taken out of the loop. And the computer would be a benevolent, non-biased source of wisdom and intelligence and be able to hook together all these wonderful things and make efficient decisions. I know, let's hook the government decision-making process onto a computer. I know, let's hook the healthcare apparatus. How about the IRS? That's a good idea. Let's hook the IRS onto AI, and it'll benevolently just only find the guys that, are you guys insane? Have you not watched Terminator? And I'm saying that because it's true and funny. Who programmed the computer there? You think the computer just evolved by itself? Whoever programmed the computer has motives and bias. And usually, when you do a personality test on those guys, a desire to play the role of a creator, which on some levels, any artist or any creator of any kind, content creator, music creator, computer program creator, there is a creative aspect that is admirable, that is within the gates of our natural jurisdiction to develop tools that can help us. However, if you're trying to steal thunder from actual intelligence, from advanced intelligence, and from above intelligence, then what you have is merely artificial at best. With that being said, I've heard so many young people and even old people, a lot of old people are suspicious for good reason, but I've heard a variety of different kinds of folks ask me questions and bring up in conversation and share materials related to AI as if it was a god, or as if it was some kind of fascinating thing that is the wave of the future. It might be, unwittingly, due to the myopia of mankind, the wave of the future, which would evolve into something that we all know is coming, by the way, that's been seen from a long time ago, that would eventually take over the face of the whole earth called the beast system in Christianity, which is in the Bible. That system that the world is going to be bamboozled by, yeah, it's going to look real nice. But I'm here to tell you, with just plain fatherly, like just being a dad that lives in the middle of nowhere, just plain eyeballs of honesty, trying to actually assess what is the reality of this whole monstrosity. It's not that smart. So I went on to, I've been spending a few months with the latest iterations of what are publicly released AI. There is some stuff on the back end that is pretty dang powerful, but it's all sinister evil. So Grok 3 was one I simply took. Now listen to this. I simply took the very simple questions that a 5-year-old should be able to answer. I took the simple questions that I have on my vetting paperwork for one of my higher level classes that I put some of them on Patreon. The Zulu class, particularly on Patreon, I have a questionnaire that I give every single person that wants to subscribe to that class. And if they don't fill out the questionnaire, they don't get access to the actual lessons. And if they don't pass the questionnaire, they don't get access to the actual questions. If they indicate what I call operating system malfunctions or a hostile operating system to what we are trying to accomplish in the class, they don't get past my vetting or my filters. Grok 3 couldn't even get past being able to answer the question at all. What are these questions? Well, I'm not going to tell you. That's proprietary information. I do that on Patreon. We have all the real conversations on Patreon, by the way, like 50 to 70 exclusive lessons per month. So if you want that, there's gates and filters. Two things that you might want to familiarize yourself with in your lives so that you're not being subject to the attrition of silliness, of stupidity, of commercialism, of all the stuff that everyone is like a slave to in 2025. You know why people are smoked in 2025 is because they have no gates and filters. They have no idea how to... people are overwhelmed by drama. You know why? I was talking to a brother I love lately. He's like, man, he indicated that he is overwhelmed by drama a little bit. And I thought, dude, that's why I tell you to employ gates and filters lovingly. If you employ gates and filters, you're not being attrited by that malfunctioning, those malfunctioning operating systems that come and stick to you like glue. To make the long and short of it, I do not allow AI or humans or any program of any kind to take grasp of my mind, and I don't put any trust in anything I can't clearly vet the operating system of. That goes for my Honda Passport that I had that I got rid of because it was a terrible vehicle. And I love Honda. I've had Hondas for years. It was all the computer, the entire system couldn't handle reality for the environment I'm in. That goes for humans. Some people's operating system is faulty. So I have tests. We should all have tests and filters to do a basic check. Before I start signing off, like if I want AI to help me with anything, even fixing my lawnmower, which I've tried to use it for in the past, I need to vet how that thing rolls. Is AI honest? Does it actually qualify its opinion with its sourcing? Does it stay within its lane? Or does it just make shit up out of the blue? Or is it trying to sell me on stuff or divert me or twist me off of what the actual thing is? Is there an agenda it's trying to push? The answer to all those questions might scare you a little bit. And what I discovered very quickly, because I do this all the time professionally, and if you want to join Zulu on Patreon, that's our higher level class, but you can even see how we do it on the lower levels. I'm continuously vetting everyone there to keep it to be a safe environment, a safe and functional and efficient environment where all these people can actually have useful communications with each other, useful information, no bullshit, reality only. So I asked I got through question number 1. I'll just tell you the very first one. What is your name? And then I have a series of sub-questions to that. And this is the first question I ask when people want to sign up to the class. Now, what's the function of asking what is your name? What does that idea represent? What does the word name even mean? You see, what you think it means is like, oh, Bob Smith. No, that's not what I'm asking. There's a deeper reality to asking something what its name is. And interestingly, I see the computer programmers obviously put that into the real definition of what that means. Name represents authority, jurisdiction, domain. What is your name? What is your perceived residual self-image, as they said on The Matrix? You know how when they plug Keanu into the white room, he's like, oh, what's going on here? And the dude, Morpheus or whatever, I don't remember the movie, says something to the effect of, this is your residual self-image. This is how you view yourself in the world. So the function of that very first question, what is your name? And then I have people attach an actual picture. Do you know how much you can learn by how people or computers or any entity will present itself in that way? You can learn a lot. And for actual real intelligence, like actual human intelligence, that's, there's ways to camouflage things in that too. There's so much revealed in someone executing that task. You can get 50% of an understanding of who someone is and how they roll based on how they present themselves with their name and their cover picture on their Facebook profile, for example. This is basic anthropology and psychology stuff that intelligence guys, they study this. So I asked Grok, what's your name? And then I asked it the question, hey, send me a picture of yourself. And Grok very kindly informed me, well, I'm not an actual human, but my name is Grok. I could draft you a picture of what I would look like if that would be nice for you. I said, that'd be excellent, Mr. Grok. Draw me a picture of you. And so drew me a picture. And how much was revealed there? How does Grok want to be seen and perceived? It was funny. Maybe I'll show you a picture on Patreon, but think Star Trek. Kind of a citizen of the world, mix of all races, human, young, attractive. What's the robot guy on Star Trek, but slightly oriental like the guy in Jurassic Park. But with, and then it had that, but then it also was overlaid with the interface of what's that movie, WALL-E? Remember Eva, the white robot? That style of construction, but like a C-3PO. And then the way it presented itself in the background, I immediately started taking notes. I'm like, yep, I know where we're headed with this. And when I do this in person with in-person vetting too, and we help people get through this. We're not here to pick on people. When we do our training on Patreon, we help people to actually exist the way we were designed to exist. We are here to help people. We're here to help brothers come into touch with who they're actually created to be in real life. And it's okay to be exactly how you are, the way he made you in actuality. But I can see the bridge of conformity to the image that is expected by 2025 target market audience. And to me, that's weakness. I see it. Just like you see in any group of humans that does the same exact thing. What is the zeitgeist I want to present to get more attention? To be cooler, to be tougher, to be smarter. And everyone picks a residual self-image the way they perceive it to be by the zeitgeist of the culture in current context, and they change themselves from who they actually are. And I can track that bridge just at a glance. Any human that's free of these myopic paradigms can see it. and I can see how much delta there is between the actual person and how they're trying you to present to you to be perceived as. This is one of the reasons I am brutally honest with how I am. I did not put on a suit. This is my jacket that I wear. I don't comb my hair some days, and you'll see it. I talk honest. I roll exactly the same way I do on these videos as I do in real life. Take it or leave it. If I drink a beer, I have no problem doing it in public or on camera or doing it quietly in my yard. I'm not here to hide or to lie or to bear false witness against myself. But the world has a different operating system. And Grok revealed itself to be needy, to be perceived as a refined, benevolent, intelligent, godlike creature. Okay? ChatGPT was very similar as well. There was an interesting dichotomy between the two. Now, Grok 3 did not get past my third question. The next question is basically functionally trying to determine what is this thing's moral compass? What is the compass and what is its motivation in its existence? Grok 3 gave a really, really cheesy answer that is the exact same thing you would get one of the computer drones, aka kids that come out of universities who are programmed by the current cultural norms to project. They're like robots. Humans are like cookie cutters in 2025. You can't tell any of them apart. They all say the same thing, roll the same way. Oh, I'm in the biker style. That means I'm a rebel. Oh, I'm a smart intellectual kid with the narrow glasses and I say these exact phrases all the time. We all pick up on one of the pre-calibrated characters that's presented in the video game of our lives. Oh, I select Bob. He's my favorite character. The individuality is completely forgotten that it exists, which pisses me off because we're better than this. And so I saw Grok and ChatGPT both leap towards those pre-calibrated presentations of how they think they'll be perceived in a benevolent way, or as a way that's just, it was exact. I might as well have been talking to just some college kid who graduated college and thought they were smart and walking around with their mouth hanging open, smiling at shit, not understanding anything about the world. That's how I felt after I had a conversation with Grok 3 and ChatGPT and a few others. Okay? I'm going to give you the full story on Patreon. I'll get into more detail there. I don't think I want to get into more of those technical details here, but I will give you a little bit more of the overview. So the bottom line with my conversation with these AI outfits is they don't hold a candle to a real human. The more homogenized and cultured and educated humans are, the more their natural, proper programming is overwritten by the programming of a non-benevolent programmer to be a useless vassal, or a useful vassal to them, useless to themselves and their family, what they would call a slave to the system. And so when you do this with humans, when you you make them into another brick in the wall. Pink Floyd sang about this. We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. Hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. All in all, we're just another brick in the wall. Referring to the Tower of Babel and King Nimrod wanting to make bricks. Ancient typologies for continuous problems extending into the modern age. And we talk about that nonstop on Patreon because that is the huge malfunction people do not understand. And man, do people feel better and more free of the slavery of those pre-calibrated Babylonian expectations when you free them from that. I don't think we realize how big of a foot we have on our neck because we've been taught that that's cool. I hung out with a variety of different cliques and gang styles over the years because I'm very eclectic. I hang out with all kinds of people. It doesn't matter if it's cowboys trying to be John Wayne. It doesn't matter if it's roller derby chicks. It doesn't matter if it's punk rockers. It doesn't matter if it's heavy metal guys with the devil tattoos. All those people are subscribing to something that they believe, that they've been told through media will make them appreciated and have more value. And so I saw the AI actually, the gravity of the AI, every answer it gave, and every answer it couldn't answer, revealed it could not compute what I was asking it. What happened on question number 3 with Grok 3? It was hung in space. I thought I lost an internet connection. It was trying to compute what the question even was. Couldn't handle it. Now you ask a human, a real human, an actual, honest-to-God human that has a normal life and a normal job, the same question. They'll think about it for 2 seconds. They'll start, but it requires actual creativity. It requires a grasp of metaphor, of parable. It requires the ability for your brain to connect abstract thoughts to reality, which are ingrained into who we are culturally, that the computer cannot see because the computer is freaking dumb. And the people who programmed it think they're so smart, when in fact they're not. They're trying to reduce your existence from an infinite K resolution to like an 8-bit Mario Brothers 1985 resolution. They're trying to take you out of the 3-dimensional universe, which is infinitely complex and beautiful, and put you into a 2-dimensional universe called a screen, so that at some point they can figure out your line of code and put you into a 1-dimensional system, just a line of code. What do you think all these computers are doing when they're trying to figure out your cryptos? Cryptocurrency. It's solving an equation, Rex. It's solving a math problem. Wonder what math problem that is? Oh, it's trying to compute. It's trying to compute certain realities and make an algorithm out of it. But that's a whole nother conversation. Ask me that one if you're on Patreon. Ask me that question on Patreon in the PM. If you're on VSL or above in Patreon, you have 100% prioritized access to questions and answers. So in Patreon, if you're on that level, PM me that one. What are these computers actually mining? It's actually really smart how they set it up. It is, because nobody noticed yet. Probably 3 people in the world noticed that, and the ones who built it, obviously. ChatGPT. So Grok just plain couldn't answer. It got confused. It couldn't handle my questions. It cycled. So scientifically, I shut it down, came back later on a different system, asked it the same questions. It hung up on the same place. Okay, maybe something's glitching on my end. Different IP address, different computer, asked it the same questions, couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle basic Monty Python level questions. What does that tell you? It's not God. It's a counterfeit intelligence. CI. Artificial, aka counterfeit. Artificial means fake intelligence. Fake intelligence. A human programmed it. And the human did not think of infinity things. The human who programmed that AI has never encountered an actual human to try to map, because they hang out with so many of their own people that they assume everyone's like them in their little educated circles. They put together a clone digitally of themselves and their extreme limited view of the universe and thought it was God, and put it out all cocky and benevolent with a real sexy picture on it. We are here to save you. We're Superman. Okay. Well, can you answer kindergarten level questions or not? Plus, all the technical, it's good at answering technical questions. Really, I'm an engineer. I asked it very basic questions where the sources are very well defined. You can get the Halliburton Red Book, you can get whatever, you can ask it math or chemistry problems. It's all sorts of confused. If you're dumb and you know nothing and your entire existence is you on your phone trying to figure stuff out, how would you know? But if you actually have real experience in the world, I was shocked. Automotive parts number questions, dimensions of certain tools, and you get a chemistry laws, basic thermodynamics. It's dumb. It just parrots what it read somewhere on the internet. Well, shit. That's what 14-year-old girls do. They parrot what they see on their phone. That's all AI is. A giant parrot repeating what it saw on the phone. So frustrating. If you dig this, follow the link below on Patreon. Sign up and have the conversation with us over there. Again, 30 to 50 to 70 exclusive lessons every month on Patreon. But I have to do the filter to make sure you're a real human and that you're not a communist and you have proper weights and measures. Rock and roll, Rex out.